Attention, il a une grosse frappe. Il faut savoir céder du terrain, d'accord?
The left hand underneath by Kessler, trying to get that left hook in. And the jab a little short, and a good indication.
Round 2 scheduled for 12 in the super middleweight division. Mikkel Kessler, former WBA and WBC super middleweight champion, 3-time champion. He's also the WBC Emeritus super middleweight title holder. What does that mean, Al?
That means when he comes back, he would be ranked in a position where he could fight for the title immediately. Don't ask me to explain why that's the case, because I can't. That and foreign policy have me stumped.
Kessler putting his punches together.
I just want to point out that Mehdi has a great defense, man. He's catching a lot of those punches on the gloves, and you know, Kessler's not getting through right now.
Kessler, the bigger man, backing up, and as you mentioned, Antonio Buadla using his jab.
Yeah, right there you saw he caught a punch and he came through with that jab. I mean, and that's important for a shorter fighter to not abandon the jab, because, you know, it's sometimes with fighters we feel because we're shorter that we can't have an effective jab.
The great Gil Clancy, who trained Emil Griffith, who's shorter than most fighters, said a jab is about timing as much as it is length.
Yes, it is.
Buadla studied, I'm sorry, Gus, Buadla really studied Kessler. He said, I know everything about him except when he pays his taxes. And you know what? He's showing us a little bit of that now.
Well, Buadla doing his due diligence. Wow. He works as the bodyguard for the mayor of his town, which is about 8 miles outside of Paris, Aulnay-sous-Bois. And hopefully I get points for saying that name correctly. I hope I said it correctly.
Big points. This is a very good fight. You know, this first round and a half has provided a lot of action and some really good technique by both fighters.
56 seconds remaining in the second round, scheduled for 12 in the super middleweight division. Mikkel Kessler, the former champion, returning to the ring after the eye injury, which did not require surgery. It required rest. And he has big hopes. Nice left hook there by Buadla.
Over an uppercut that came from too far back. Buadla's a solid fighter, Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with his defense. I mean, and sometimes that, we don't get enough credit for that.
Yep.
But you got to watch. This guy's blocking most of those shots.
He's winning round 2, in my opinion.
Buadla really impressed with the sparring partners that he brought into his camp. Julian Marie Saint, triple French champion. Hugo Kaspersky, current double WBC and WBO Youth World Champion, ranked number 15. And you can tell that the Frenchman is well prepared. So coming up next, the Super 6 World Boxing Classic semifinal. The winner to take on Andre Ward for the championship trophy with 2 world title belts on the line. And there's the Cobra entering the building. Carl Froch, he has fought some great fighters. Jean Pascal, Jermaine Taylor, Andre Durrell, Kessler, Abraham, and now maybe the toughest fight to date as he takes on this man, 42-year-old Glenn Johnson. Here's a man that was on the outside looking out. They asked him to move down in weight. He did. He fought Alan Green, knocked him out, and now in the semifinal with the chance not only to advance tonight to the final, but also win a world championship. Froch, Johnson, semifinal, Super 6 World Boxing Classic coming up next from AC. Round 3, scheduled for 12 in the super middleweight division. Mehdi Buadla, the Frenchman, in the black and red trunks. Mikkel Kessler from Copenhagen, also in black and red, the taller fighter. And ring rust is a big question mark for Mikkel Kessler, Antonio Tarver.
Yeah, you know, I think more so than the injuries. Mikkel Kessler has had 2 back-to-back grueling, tough fights. I mean, Andre Ward. Then he come back with Carl Froch. He needed rest. Very bad he needed rest to get, you know, recuperated from those tough fights.
But as you return, Al, when it comes to ring rust, what are the things that leave you when you leave the ring and have to come back with experience like we're seeing tonight?
Well, a lot of it, sometimes it's timing. Oh, big right hand by Wadler. Wow.
Beautiful right hand by Kessler. A looping right hand that we saw him working on with Montoya in the locker room before the fight. And that was a counter right hand. It came, he caught a punch, and he fired right back over top. It was a punch he didn't see. Delayed reaction. And Wadler, eyes wide open. Bleeding from his nose. Trying to clear his head. Buying time right here. As his mouthpiece came out. 1:31 to go in the third round.
Oh, they took a point away for the mouthpiece activity.
But at this point, Wadler will take it.
Yes.
To clear his head. He's still on shaky ground. It's important Kessler right now dig a couple good shots to the body.
He heard you. And you know, that overhand right's been a monstrous weapon of Kessler's.
Kessler punches and bunches. Another overhand right. Wadler backing up, trying to clear his head on wobbly legs.
Wadler's not by nature a boxer either, so this is strange territory for him to have to move backward.
Wadler in major trouble. Under 50 seconds to go. Kessler looking for that one big shot. Right hand, left hook connected for the former champion. Well, if there's any doubt, Kessler is sharp. He's razor sharp tonight. He's looked good. And hopefully he can get this over with and finish with the dramatic ending. Uppercut. And Kessler backs up. You got to be careful if you're Kessler right here, don't you, Antonio? Well, you know, I don't know if Wadler have the power to really hurt Kessler, but he just needs to not exert himself and blow out all of his energy right now, trying to finish. 6 seconds to go. Kessler dropping Mehdi Wadler in the third round. Nice work here by Mikkel Kessler to end the round. And they continue to fight. Now they've gone beyond 3 minutes. And the bell finally sounds. I've had that happen before.
It was a bonus.
Tu l'as jeté pour rien. Ça sert à rien ce que tu fais de jeter le protège-dents. C'est le Soviet à 2 balles, ça. Le gobelet est une.
And after the knockdown, guys, Wadler had 27 seconds to get himself together.
And now here's where he spit his mouthpiece out. It was pretty blatant that a point was deducted. And this is where Mikkel Kessler came after him after the knockdown, trying to end this fight. See, Wadler's still landing counter punches or throwing them and still trying to give head movement, so he kept his wits about him.
Yeah, I felt that Kessler should have did much better work downstairs. And maybe he could have, you know, weakened this guy enough to get him out of there.
There's the overhand right that knocked Wadler down, a punch that Kessler has used very effectively in this fight. It was after Wadler had landed his own right hand.
And Al, is that overhand right, that can opening right, is that something new from Kessler?
He really is. Normally he throws a straight right hand. So I think they decided that would work in this fight.
And I think that's good on their game plan because they knew this guy was shorter and he'll be reaching. It's working to perfection so far.
Round 4 scheduled for 12.
Give Wadler credit. He got through that round. He comes out attacking here. And his whole mission tonight was, I want to raise my stock as a fighter. Let me tell you something. He's doing it against a 168-pounder, even though he's been dropped.
Another big looping right hand by Kessler. And now Mikkel really sitting down on his punches, and it's all because he's established that jab early. And I like what I see because this guy came in fighting an unknown prospect, and he's not fighting down to his level. He's showing this guy that he's going to have to step his game up if he plans on beating me tonight.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, the combinations of Kessler are very good, and only, as you pointed out, Wadler's defense is why he missed some of those punches early.
Wadler swinging wildly early on in the first 2 rounds. Wadler really establishing his jab. It worked for him. At some point, it seemed like it was almost a annoyance to Kessler. But now Kessler, since the beginning of the third round when he dropped Buadla, has really looked crisp and sharp. Not a lot of ring rust, guys.
No, and you know, he's a veteran man. He's a 3-time world champion. I mean, I didn't expect anything less from Kessler. You know, he's a guy that trains hard, comes prepared, and he's on top of his game. Like I said, again.
And he told us that during that 14 months when he was off, he gained 5 pounds total. I tend to believe him.
And you know what? That in itself speaks volumes of this guy's dedication and commitment to the sport. Because it don't take me but about a month.
It takes me 4 days to gain 5 pounds. So. Wow, that's a beautiful uppercut by Kessler. And Buadla taking some big shots in this round. Kessler finding holds and says, you know, I got to stop punching for a second.
Buadla is the kind of fighter that will go from 160 to 168. So he's stepping up in weight to fight the taller Kessler. Buadla listed at 5'9", Kessler 6'1.5". And he's doing a terrific job, Mehdi Buadla, of giving Kessler an opportunity to get some work in.
Oh yeah, you know, and you know, this is the type of work that Kessler needs if he's going to continue to be a force in the super middleweight division. I mean, this guy is not going to lay down. Kessler's going to have to earn this knockout, and that's what he needed tonight.
And what's the Jimmy Montoya effect on Kessler? What have you seen?
He likes Jimmy Montoya.
Ooh. Oh my! Beautiful right hand by Kessler as he stepped back and shot it, and Buadla is down for the second time. And the round ending once again. Buadla waddles back to his corner. And Al, you were talking about the Montoya effect on Kessler.
Well, as we see Jimmy going into the corner, now of course Buadla, who's got to get past a very rough patch. Montoya, what he brings to the corner is a coolness under fire. That's what Kessler said. He likes that. Jimmy Montoya, a veteran. And here's where the overhand right landed again for Mikkel Kessler. Sent Buadla down. A little new weapon in the arsenal.
Antonio, when you look at Mikkel Kessler, does he look slicker? We saw him in his last fight against Frotch. Look at some of the things that he's doing.
Well, you know, let's not be mistaken. Now, he's not fighting at that level. You know, he's not fighting at Andre Ward or Carl Frotch level. But this is the type of work that it's going to take for him to come back and have the confidence to once again claim that championship.
We're seeing variations of the right hand, the right cross, the can opener, as well as a hooking right hand from Mikkel Kessler. 5th round scheduled for 12. The former champion Mikkel Kessler fighting in his hometown, Copenhagen, Denmark, is the taller fighter.
And what I'm impressed with the most is that he's not rushing it. He's not trying hard. He's just working, and that's a beautiful thing.
And I think the other important